In this video, I'm going to show you how to input hours into Zenefits. As you can see here, I've logged in to Zenefits and I'm on the dashboard. In this case, I'm logged into Alyssa's account, as she was nice enough to let me do that, as you need to be an hourly employee to input hours into Zenefits. So let's go ahead and do it. There's two ways to get to time and attendance, which is where you input your hours. You can either click here and get a drop down and click time and attendance, or straight from the dashboard you have the option of clicking time and attendance right here. So once in this screen, you'll see that you can either click right here and to enter hours. But before we do that, I want to turn your attention to the calendar. The calendar here is very important as it shows you the pay period you're inputting your hours for. In this case, it's October 16th to October 31st. It's actually a little bit more than a 2-week period. This will happen a few times during the year. The other pay period always ends on the 15th. So your pay periods are either ending on the 15th or at the end of the month. The other important thing to note is the pay date. The pay date will always be 7 days after the pay period. So in this case, since the end of the pay period is the 31st, the pay date will be November 7th. That happens to be a Wednesday. So your pay date will always be a different day of the month. It will be 7 days after the end of the pay period. So be sure to plan accordingly. Alright, now let's enter some hours. We click here on Enter Hours, and you're brought to the screen with each day of the pay period. So Alyssa here has already entered a few hours for last week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter some hours here for Friday. To do that, I click into the box and I simply add the number of hours that I worked. Now, as you all know, it's important to have a break. It's actually required, and it's something we need to do after 4 hours of work. So for an 8-hour day, you'd put in 4 hours work. You can add a note if you like, it's not necessary. And then half an hour for lunch, meal break, and finally another 4 hours. If you make a mistake and you need to go back, it's very simple. Click back in here and just add the number of hours. Perhaps she only worked 2 hours in the morning, had a break, and then had 4 hours in the afternoon. If you need to delete it altogether, you can click on the trash button right here and the time goes away. This right here will tell you whether the hours have been approved yet. I will always approve hours the morning of the day after the pay period ends. So in this case, it's going to be Thursday, November 1st in the morning that I'll be approving hourly payroll. You can also see the pay period here and go back to previous pay periods if you like. And that's how you input hours into Zenefits.